Okay, that's probably more information than I need. I'm not sure that's gonna turn out, but for a 5-minute little thumbnail, maybe it'll be okay. Maybe there's a tree here too. We'll see. We're just gonna try to do it very loose, and this front part I'm gonna kind of fudge it a little bit with some ideas I have. DJ's found. Okay. Boy, it's just pouring outside, you guys. If I could get my other camera working, which it's not right now, I've been having trouble with my second web camera, so right now I have everything set up just off of this one camera. But I could show you the rain is coming down in sheets. All right, so let's do a typical Tuscan. A little blue sky. We'll go into some yellow ochre underneath this hillside. We'll add in a little bit of yellow sap, kind of green. Has anyone heard from Kat? Kat has a crazy schedule because she works as a traveling nurse, and she works night shift a lot. So sometimes she works like 3 days straight, and all she can do really is work and sleep, because it's very demanding to work those kinds of hours. And so I haven't heard from her lately, so she must be either traveling or working very hard, probably. All right, I'm going to go back to our Tuscan color here for these buildings. And one thing I've learned about doing these Tuscan buildings is keep the roofs pretty light. I'll go back with shadows, but you think the roofs are like red tile, but honestly, the more red you put in there, the worse they look. So just give them a little bit. And then keep going down with, whoops, oh, I got red on there, that's all right. Very light yellow ochre. I mean, lighter than you probably think you need. And I'm going to carry that all the way down, really everywhere, because I'm going to go over it with a second layer. So as we come down here towards the front of these vines, I'll just, whoa, too dark. I'll just deepen it up a little bit. I'm kind of just winging it here with a little bit of green, a little bit of blue, a little bit of yellow, and I think I'm going to even slap in a little bit of purple. Not purple, it's violet, just to give a little suggestion of these, I don't know, grape leaves or something. Grapes. Or lavender field, whatever you want, really, you can make it. It's just going to be kind of abstract there. So there we go. And this is on sketchbook paper, so we won't get a great result, but at least we'll get a beginning. I think I'll turn up my light a little bit brighter. I think that might help. I'll put my camera light on too. So did you guys have a good day? Paulina, how's your work going? So do you guys prefer Twitch or YouTube? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I got my spritzer. I've got my painting. I'm in my office. You know what I could use is like twice the space just so I could spread out more. I have a friend, a Facebook friend, who's a watercolor painter. And she has this enormous studio that they built on her. She lives out in Pennsylvania on, like a farm, I imagine, where they have a lot of land. And so she and her husband built her this huge studio, which has, an area for shipping, an area for painting, an area for framing, an area for, just everything. And it just makes life so much easier when you have a lot of space. And she has a space for streaming, this big table. And it's hard to really get all of this stuff. I can't get this one camera very good set up. I feel like I'm bursting out of my space. So I do have a table for framing, but it ends up with all the other stuff on it. So I have to move everything out of the way when I want to cut mat boards and when I want to frame things. And then I have literally baskets and bins of paintings everywhere, which I kind of need to organize. And supplies everywhere. Somewhat organized, but I don't know. Okay, so that's kind of still wet. I think I'll dry it off. So maybe I should get a bigger studio space. I don't know if it would really help me or not. It might just make me. Paulina, you've been moving furniture around too? Yeah. Oh, let me turn off this. Okay. I did this painting yesterday, but I'm not too thrilled with it. The colors are a little too bright, and I didn't do the people very good. I can paint better. Like I painted this here on this little, on this desktop. I paint much better when I put it on my easel and I can look at it as I'm going from farther away. But yeah, this was and also these trees that I was talking about in Santa Barbara, they're called jacaranda trees. And they bloom in the spring and they look like, well, some of them might be wisteria trees and some might be jacarandas. But jacarandas are very pretty. If you Google that, jacaranda trees, California. In fact, my cousin sent me a very nice image from a friend of hers that has a street scene with jacarandas. If you Google it, you'll see some amazing images. It's so pretty. And a lot of the vineyards in California have wisteria, of course, growing all over. And those trees. But I didn't feel like this painting came out well at all. Not where the people are. Oh, really? DJ, I didn't even notice that. Who is asking? Was it in the comments, DJ? I'll have to check because I don't think I've ever even gotten hardly any comments. Maybe one lady from somewhere asked about my stream once, but oh, it was Ifina. Oh, okay, I did see her comment, I think. Yeah. Yeah, this is what I did on Sunday, but I did it, you know, in the sketchbook, so I did it smaller. I did it like this. Oops, there goes my camera. Did I just knock it out of the way? Here, I'll put it close. See, this was my first sketch, which always turns out well because you're not so worried about it. And then this was the sketch I did on Sunday. And then this is the big one that I did. I don't remember if I did it. I guess I did it yesterday, last night. And I'm not happy with it, with the bottom part at all. It's not loose enough. It's kind of, I don't know. Didn't work very well. And that's always disappointing for me when something doesn't look right, when it doesn't work. But yeah, try again. It's kind of frustrating. Okay, there we go. Well, let's work up this little study while I'm here before. Boy, it looks so pale right now on this screen. All right, here we go. So let's think about these. Trying to put some darker values in now. I gotta go to OBS. I need real-time evidence of where my stuff is on my screen here. Okay. So you saw the Tombow markers. I think I told you before about a guy who uses them in a video really well. He's on Cheap. If you go to Cheap Joe's, he has some tutorials there on watercolor because he's a watercolor painter, and one of the artists on there, I've got to think of his name, but he does a really nice demonstration of those thumbnail paintings, and he uses markers. I don't know if he uses the Tombows or if he uses some other ones that have, you know, a value scale from light to dark gray and black, but I'll send you guys the link later if I think of it. But okay, so I want to mix up a dark green for these trees. I want to knock those in, and I'm just going to mix up a bunch of burnt sienna and green to get a nice dark. Gosh, my palette needs some water here. All right, this might work. I should start it really light to dark, right? Put in a light color first, like this, and then put in some darker values over here to get that nice and juicy. And then my olive trees, put a little base in there. and some shadows on these. Maybe it's supposed to be here. I'll get a little more blue in there. This is a very quick sketch. Just leave a few light areas to suggest something growing there. And whatever is left here on my damp brush from this lavender, I'm going to put it in these olive trees. And kind of give it the suggestion they're going up there. I'll make this one bigger. And over here I want one. And here I want this to kind of drip down a little more. What is my, need a tissue. All right, so some of these buildings are in shadow. And I want to just suggest that a little bit here. And you could use like a ultramarine and alizarin to get sort of a gray. With a tiny bit of burnt sienna. Now let's see. Maybe we'll make, oh, that's pretty wet. That we want bright. This we want dark. It's in shadow. Everything in shadow, put in there. Here we go. And over on this other side, I had another idea for a cypress tree, which I was going to put in there like that. And few darks on there. Add some more darks to these trees over here on the shady side, and a couple little dots for these windows. And this rooftop, I'm making it darker than it really should be, but I'm just playing on this little sketch because you know what? It's Did I tell you the timing or not? No, I didn't tell you the timing, DJ. I did not. The timing for which? It's always 3 o'clock on Sunday. I'm going to try to never miss 3 o'clock on Sunday. For tomorrow, I was going to do a YouTube live at 3 o'clock. And then I'm supposed to be doing a tutorial Tuesday, but I think that might be too much. So I think on tutorial Tuesday, I'm just going to post a story to Instagram, or maybe do a short Instagram live. That might be kind of fun to talk about paint. And I have a good idea for the first one. I'm going to talk about Viridian, the color Viridian in painting, because it's kind of I heard something interesting the other day from a painter. He says don't ever use Viridian. I think he called it mud or something like that. Like he never uses it, and he advised everybody else never to use it, which is really funny because two of the, well, even three. I mean, Joseph, Alvaro, and Herman Peckel. They all use Viridian in their paintings. And I love Viridian. I mean, it's a great... The only problem with Viridian is it's hard to reconstitute. So if you squeeze a bunch of it in your palette, it's going to be there for a long time, and it gets really hard as a rock, and it's hard to get it back up to working levels. So I don't try to keep it in my palette. I try to keep it like in my bag, and then if I need some, I'll put a little bit in my palette, but I don't want like a huge, I want to use it while it's wet if I can. So this is looking nice. It's had a little time to dry now. And I have to decide, my darkest dark is kind of here and on these trees. So I need to darken up this little space here. It's like a little, it's supposed to be a little patio hanging off of this. There we go. Right there. And so I thought it was funny that he's a very good painter. Everybody knows who he is. He was doing a live the other day. And so it's just funny that some people will have their favorite paints and their favorite pigments, and others that they totally stay away from. But I never like to hear, and I've learned, I guess, if I hear somebody say something, it's like, well, that may be the case for you, but it's not the case for every other artist. You can't just make a blanket statement, don't ever use this color because it's horrible. Well, not always. Oh, okay, DJ. We'll bear with you with your network problem. I'm only going to stream for about another half hour until about 6:30 maybe. And we'll miss you if you're having networking problems. But if you're good, let us know. I'm just talking about nothing really. But okay, so in the hillside I can see I want to add... And I'm using actually a tiny bit of this phthalo blue, which is this color, with a little bit of, it's got a little bit of my leftover green from my palette mixed in, but you can see the phthalo color in there. And it's the green shade, phthalo blue green shade. So that's that color you're seeing there. And if I mix it with a little bit of burnt sienna, you can get a nice dark with it like this, Paulina. So I put that in there where this is the little sun structure that's hanging underneath this Tuscan villa here. You know how they have a little patio area like that. And I put some shadows under the roof there. And now I'm thinking about those hills having a little bit more of that dark value in there. See how they are? It's dark back here with a few highlights. Now I'm not going to go into all that detail, but if I just squint at this thing, this should be fairly simple, but a little bit of dark to set off those rooftops with light. So maybe I just go over in kind of broad strokes and get a little bit of, picking up a little bit of that phthalo blue, and then a little bit of leftover burnt sienna here to come up with, well, I don't like that because it's too bright, it's too green. I need to Whoa. Thin it down a little bit and just put a nice wash over this hillside and make it kind of loose. Let's see. As it goes back into the distance, if I make it a little cooler, it should recede. That's pretty. And I can use these lines like as if it's like fields back there and just go over what's already on the yellow ochre that's already back there is very pretty. So yeah, and then maybe just a little bit of a burnt sienna color. No, I don't like that. It's too green. I just want a little bit more Tuscan red on these roofs, just to glaze over a little bit. And I'm using cat orange for that. Okay. So, and down here on this, I kind of made my shadows green off these trees, so maybe I'll just do that. And this olive tree here, I'll give him a little base. A little bit more burnt sienna on there. Put this backside in shadow. Not too much detail. A little bit of detail in the vines, maybe. These really don't read as... I don't want them to read too much detail, but just suggest that maybe those are vineyards there. And a few details here, maybe on the roof, these little chimneys and shadows. That looks kind of cool, doesn't it? I think it does. Maybe a little shadow coming off of that tree. Make it a little more green. And this window back here needs to be a nice dark, that one. Lightest light, darkest dark. Boy, I really made that pop out, didn't I? These dark windows. Have you been to Italy, Paulina? I'm sure you probably have, right? Oh no, not internet issues with rain. Fortunately, here in our neighborhood, we had our internet provider, they came in and they put fiber to the neighborhood. So we have like really excellent connection here. We almost never lose it unless we lose power. So, and if it gets really windy and stormy, trees will go down because we're in the woods, and sometimes they hit the power lines in the neighborhood and then we lose power. But yeah, I keep telling Joe it's like living on Green Acres. If you ever saw the television program Green Acres with Zsa Zsa Gabor, way before your time, both of you. Oh, you've been to Italy 3 times. Which parts have you been to, Paulina? Tell me where you've been. Venice, Florence, Rome, Tuscany, Chianti, Sicily. Palermo, Sicilia. I think I need a little more yellow ochre right here. Maybe not. It looks better with a limited palette. I'll put out this color, which is the phthalo blue green shade there. I also want to check to see what green did I finally put in my palette. Rome twice and the southern part. Oh, you went to Bari. Oh, that's in the boot. Was that nice? How did you like that? I've never been there. I'm gonna look for my paint color. This one. What's this? Oh, here's another Winsor blue. This is a really old tube of paint I've had for a long time. It's a Winsor blue. It's green shade. That's funny. I'll show you what it looks like if I can get it open. It should be the same as this. Winsor blue green shade. I mean, it really is way more blue than it is anything green, but you won't believe it until you see it. And it's coming out of here. So, ooh, look at that. That really is green. Holy Toledo. Winsor, oh, this is Winsor green blue shade. There's a big difference. This is Winsor green blue shade. Yeah, no, that's totally different. And that is not in my painting at all. And that's a color that you can see I've had the tube for years and I just don't use it that much. I don't know what you'd use that for. But there it is. Winsor green. No, I use Winsor blue. Okay. Oh, it's Hooker's green, I think. That's what I have in my palette. Let me show you what Hooker's green looks like. Is that what I said? I think that's what I said, right? Hooker's green? That's this one. Hooker's green. It's a real mossy, bright green. A bright mossy green. Now I want to put it on there where it's not wet so I can see. There it is. And you can see that green in my trees. It's very easy to see that color in those trees. All right, just making sure that I might put a little more in there while I have it out. And this is a L'Aquarelle French artist's watercolor. I bought this in Italy when I was there last fall. Okay, let me see this. Oh, spontaneous trip. Your friend was supposed to go with her friend for 3 days, but her friend didn't, oh no, didn't manage. Nice. Late on Friday, so you went on Saturday? You're like me, that's what I did. This lady was taking a bunch of people on a tour painting, a plein air painting thing, and I said, oh my God, I want to go, you know, and she said, well, we have one person canceled, but we're leaving tomorrow. And I'm like, oh, Joe, see if you can get me a ticket. I want to go. So, of course, he found me a ticket. And I packed my bag the night before. And I already know what I need for painting, like with watercolors, it's really easy. So, and I took only carry-on, you know, and just went for, it was like a 10-day thing. You already had wine. That helps, doesn't it? I guess. Well, it'll make me sleepy, but yes, it does help make decisions. Yeah. All right. You know, there's another color here that's really pretty. Oh, this is phthalo green light. I guess I didn't even realize I had that, because someone was using it the other day and I said, oh, I should get some of that. Look at that. I've got it right here. But while I have greens going on in my sketchbook, phthalo green light. Look at how beautiful that is. That is a fun color. It's funny how it matches the photograph. Look at the color right here. Isn't that pretty? It's like the color of this hedge. And if I dilute it out a little bit, yeah, that's a nice color. It's a very bright tropical kind of green. It would be good as a base maybe for these trees. For the light side, look at that, it really brightens them up. You know, where the sunlight is hitting. I'll just add that in there, and also maybe a little bit here on my terrace, the terrace of vines. And if you wanted, you could even use a little bit of it back here in these fields. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, Paulina, 6:10. Shall I do one more little sketch on here? Have you been working a lot? Have you had any time? Thank you. Have you had any time to do any painting, or how's your work going? And did you happen to catch the video that Vivi did of making the pizza dough and everything? I don't even know if it was on Instagram or what it was yesterday, but I think it was an Instagram story where she was making a pizza, and I happened to catch it. And then this morning I made a comment on it. Well, I think it was this afternoon actually. And she responded back, which I was surprised, because I'm not that familiar with the responding to a story unless she had just posted it. I don't know. I don't remember what was going on. Not sure how it went, but so we were texting back and forth, and I asked her if she knew you, and that I told her that you lived in the same town. So yeah. The only other thing I think I might add to this is maybe a little pop of lavender on these, in this area here. Maybe there's some grapes growing on those vines. This green is really bright. Gotta tone that down. That's the trouble when you use a new color. You don't know exactly what you're gonna get here. I prefer the dark, natural tones, I guess. Let's see. Think of some shadows here. Try to fudge my way back to my original design, which had shadows coming off of these things. Shadows off the trees. I don't know what happened to this tree. Kind of got lost in there. Keep darkening it up a little bit more. Oh, you were wondering why she started following you? Did she do that today? Because I gave her your Instagram thing, tag, address, whatever. Yeah, I asked her if she'd met you yet because I told her. I asked her if she met you and that you guys lived in the same town. Yeah, and she said she hadn't seen my YouTube page or whatever. She asked about me, and so she was gonna go try and follow me or subscribe or whatever. She's such a good artist. Yeah. So, and I haven't been on Twitch that much, so I got to get back on Twitch and connect with some of these people again. There's some really great artists on there, but lately I've been trying to learn more with social media, and so Instagram is really, really picking up, and so I've been using a course to learn all the different parts of it, and they say I should go live on Instagram and do, so we'll see. I don't know. We'll see how it goes tomorrow. 3 million people in Warsaw. Oh, today. Yeah, I sent her your tag. I hope that's okay. Yeah, Vivi. And so follow her back. She's so sweet, and she's a great artist, and she's on Twitch quite a bit. I mean, she's like professional on Twitch. So, and she's really funny. I love it when she does the Instagram or the Twitch live. She live streams with her phone. And one day she took us around the city to, I think, the art store, or she was going somewhere, and it was really fun. I loved it. There's my yawn. So work is crazy lately. Is it because of the virus that you have to work harder, or are you going into work, or are you staying at home and working? I'll just put in a few brush marks here for, I don't know, indicate some of these little things on the roof. Little chimneys. Oh, that's way too big. Too much there in my little study. Oh, okay. Yeah, Joe just said that here in our state, they're gonna start moving into phase 2 where we can start going back to restaurants now, I guess. I'm not sure exactly what all that means, but I think it's time. People need to get back